Welcome back, tribe. I am so happy that you are here again for another talk. Today is going to be about labeling your feelings, identifying feelings and emotions. Because a lot of the times, what I've noticed reflecting back on my past is that we don't speak. A lot of times, a lot of foster children do not speak about how they feel and what they're going through. A lot of us bottle it up. Sometimes we're not taught how to express ourselves. We don't feel heard. So you go through life, basically ignoring how you feel, pretending, and just hoping that one day things will get better. And that's not the way to live. Sometimes what happens is that you misplace the anger or the frustration. You hurt people because you're hurt. So it's just like the saying, hurt people hurt people. That's because we're hurting and we don't know how to express it. And so those that are closest to us, 9 times out of 10, they get everything that you're holding in. And that's not the way to live, because you hurt people that don't deserve it or didn't cause the pain. You also, what happens is when you do that, it will block you from living life, enjoying life, or at least receiving the moment. We're so hurt by not going back home, or why do we have to be here, or why did this happen to me, or why don't I have parents that do that for me, or the comparison of who you live with starts happening and you can't enjoy the moment. So today my goal is to start a conversation, a series of conversations about identifying feelings and emotions and what you can do to feel what you feel, notice it, and then move forward in a right way. I want to start with the things that a lot of Americans do. Now, I'm not from another country. I don't know what they do there. So I call it the American conversation and the American answer because as an adult and as a child, you're asked, how are you? And a lot of us real quick will say, fine. We're not fine. And we will say, fine, I'm good. We'll dismiss how we feel. And we won't tell that person to just ask this because 1, we probably don't believe that they want to know. And 2 is like, if I tell you, what is that going to do? That type of attitude. So I would love for us to not do that anymore. Now, I'm not saying that you have to tell everybody your business, and I'm not saying that you have to, when somebody at work or somebody that's passing by, they ask you, how are you? I'm not saying that you have to stop and spew everything on them, but just let's stop practicing, I'm fine, I'm good. Oh, nothing's wrong, when there really is. So I know that for me, that stems from my past on not being taught how to communicate, not being taught how to identify feelings, not being taught to express myself and that sort of thing. So I know where that stems from for me. I began to self-date. Now, self-date is just really a time and place that you set to meet with yourself. Just as you would date someone, you set a place and a time and you meet them at a coffee shop or a park or whatever the date is. You meet them so you can get to know them, begin connecting with them, and then the relationship can grow from there. That's what I need you to do for yourself. For me, I began self-dating when I realized that I used to say things I didn't mean. And I wonder why I said it. I didn't know why I said it. Like a lot of us, they ask you, what is your favorite color? And you begin to say, oh, my favorite color is, mine was blue. And I'm like, why do I say blue? I don't even really like blue like that. I'm based on, my favorite color is whatever the mood is. So sometimes I find peace in deep yellows, or not loud yellows. Loud yellows kind of, build up energy, like they bring up the energy. So like muted yellows. Sometimes I like blue, sometimes I like red, sometimes I like purple and gold if I want to feel fancy, So basically, I don't have a favorite color. I love all colors, and people, they look at me weird when I say that. But I asked myself through the self-dating questions that I was asking myself, why do I like blue? When did it start? And for me, it started when I was little. Like most of us, people say, what is your favorite color? And everybody has a favorite color, and I didn't want to be left out. I never wanted to stand out. So since I was younger, I blended in. I called myself a chameleon, and that's where it started. And so realizing through self-dating that there was a lot going on and I didn't understand, and I wanted to know more. And so it's not you judging yourself for any answers, but you are going to write down the first answer that comes to mind. And then from there, you will ask more questions that will provoke more thoughts, more answers. And you'll just keep going. So it's not something that you rush. You don't need to rush it. So through this self-dating for this particular exercise of identifying feelings and emotions, you're going to ask yourself, how do you feel today? You're going to meet with yourself in whatever way that is. If you want to do it in your home, if you want to do it outside, if you want to set up a picnic for yourself, however you want to meet with yourself, I need you to do that. I don't need you to wait for someone else to take you on a date for you to receive flowers or chocolates or a picnic or go to a museum. I need you to do that for yourself, because then you'll begin to know what you like and what makes you feel happy, or what makes you feel loved, what makes you feel joy. Figure that out and begin to self-date. And in this self-dating, with this exercise, is based on how you feel. So if most of the times you feel sad, why do you feel sad? What is causing that? What throughout the day has caused that feeling? And if it was nothing that day and it's deep rooted, deep seated, then you're going to dig deep. When is the first time that you felt sadness? If you feel frustrated a lot, what made you feel that way? What causes you to feel frustrated? Just understanding how you feel throughout the day and in the past. What were you like? I was angry. I was an angry child, and I didn't know. I put on a brave face. I put on a smile. I used to smile with everybody, try to make people laugh, stick up for other people. And, I did for people what I wanted done for me. And I was angry because nobody would do that for me. I always felt like people were leaving. So I felt a sense of loss. I felt fear a lot. Frustration. It was just a lot of negative feelings that I didn't understand. And then through pretending, I put on a brave face and a smile. And so when people would ask me what's wrong, I would yell. In conversations, I would be great with other people. But in my home, my ex-husband would get most of my anger or my yelling. And I didn't know how to have a conversation with him. And so I realized that something needed to change. And I would begin asking myself, why do I feel so angry? Why do I need to yell? And I needed to yell because I wanted to be heard. Well, why don't I feel like I'm being heard? Sometimes for me, because I didn't know who I was and I didn't know what I wanted, I put myself in certain situations, in certain relationships that I realized in that relationship I shouldn't have been in. It shouldn't have been more than a friendship. And I didn't realize that. So through self-dating, I realized more about myself. I realized what I wanted in life. And I realized that I didn't want to be angry. I didn't want to be sad. I didn't want to be frustrated. I didn't want to be fake. I wanted to be a real, genuine person. And so that's what I began doing. I began self-dating and reflecting. So this is just a short conversation for you guys to begin the self-dating and reflecting exercises that you will do with yourself. It's nobody involved. You will grab a notebook and a pen, set the time and place, and you will meet with yourself to begin reflecting on how do you feel, what caused those feelings, and that sort of thing. And you can jot notes in this notebook throughout the day. You can write the time that you notice that you feel whatever the feeling is, happy, sad, frustrated, angry, you time and day, write it down, jot it down. And then when you sit down, if you set it once a week, you sit down and you really reflect on that. Yeah, I would say just start doing that so you can be aware, self-aware of how you feel and what is causing it. Because if you can become self-aware of how you feel, if you can become self-aware of your environment, you can then become aware of the triggers and how you're treating people, and how maybe with the outsiders you're one way, but with your family you're another. So then you can begin changing what it is that's not working for you and what it is that you don't like. That's the thing. I always tell people, and I tell my clients, I tell my kids, I say it to myself, that our thoughts attract, our words create, and our actions cultivate the life that we're living. So when you notice that you are attracting negative things and you notice your thoughts, you have the power to begin speaking in a different language. As in, like, I am happy today. I am love. I am peace. Because what we speak after I am is powerful. We are identifying with that thing. And yes, you can write down what the reality is. But speaking what you desire in the future as if it is your presence will cause your mind to begin to think about it and begin to align, and your actions will follow. You get to cultivate the life that you live. You get to change the things that you don't like. You get to work with what you do like. You get to receive. You get to reject. You are, for those who believe in God, you are the co-author. You are the writer. God already has the plan. He knows the end from the beginning, but you have the ability to choose what path you want to live. And a lot of us foster children do not realize that because we were told where we were going, we were told what to do, we were told and we were given everything, and we settled for what we got. Some was negative, some was positive. Some people loved us, some people didn't. Whatever it was, we didn't really speak up. We didn't really speak up for what we believed or what we thought, or whatever the case may be. Nobody asked our opinion, so we didn't know how to use our voice. Our lives were created for us. We felt pain and we didn't trust, so we just held it in because the pain is mine and I lost so much and nobody's going to take this from me. We bottled it up and we keep it like it's our treasure. So as foster children, we don't realize that we really do not understand emotions. We don't understand feelings. We don't understand how to deal with it. And then, if nobody really taught you, and like me growing up, it was a lot of Christians that taught about hell and fear, and basically it's about proving yourself to God, that sort of thing. You didn't feel good enough, and you don't understand all of this. So you grow up as an adult, and then what now? You age out of foster care, you're 18, and what now? So my first step was, I'm done being quiet. I'm done allowing people to decide what's best for me, allowing people to tell me how to live, allowing people to give me their opinions. I chose to self-date, be self-aware, become self-aware, and to reflect daily on how I was feeling what was going on, what triggered those feelings, where do they stem from. And yes, it's a lot of work, but it needs to be done so that you can become a productive person, a positive influence, someone who is real with family and real with outsiders, so that you can begin to have the hard conversations with those who have hurt you and begin to apologize to those who did nothing to you but try to help, but received your backlash because you were angry. So I pray that this will be the start of your healing, the start of something beautiful in your life. I pray that if you believe that nothing will ever change, that you will begin to believe the opposite. That you will begin to believe the opposite of that nothing will ever change. Because there is more, there is better, there is greater that's about to happen in your life. So join me here next time when I'll have a guest on that can elaborate on emotions and feelings and how you can use them in a positive way. What you can do to notice them. They don't have to control you. You can control your feelings. So until next time, you guys, I love you, tribe. Remember that you are loved, that you are worth being loved, that you are an amazing person and deserve all of the blessings that is coming your way. And you don't deserve to be abused. For those that you're going through abuse, that you're being abused, you don't deserve to be abused. You don't deserve it. It's not your fault. Speak up, please. Seek help. Begin your healing process. It's not easy, but it can be done. And you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. Until next time.